How do you assess that performance?
Obviously pretty poor. We weren't good enough across all facets of the game, and we had to play. How's that? And obviously very disappointed. We had high hopes, being able to finish the tournament with a bit of a bang, but we're very poor, and we've got a lot of work to do. And we'll put our thinking caps on over the next few weeks and start to try and sort of navigate our way through what an improvement looks like across our white ball cricket, and make sure we try and be pretty thorough with that and work out a way that we can get ourselves back to where we should be.
It was a bit of a baptism of fire coming to travel to India, coming to here as well. I guess the only way is up for the white ball teams.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's definitely the only way is up, and that's the attitude you got to have, right? I think India. I felt India was actually really good preparation for us, even though we obviously got beaten quite comfortably there. I thought that was as good a preparation as you could have coming into a major tournament, and obviously we had our chance in those first couple. But what we saw tonight was probably an example of why we're out of the tournament. We weren't able to withstand the pressure when it was applied, and we weren't able to navigate our way through. And I guess, again, I said to you yesterday that I felt that we lacked confidence, and I thought today was another example of that. And we're going to find out pretty quickly ways to be able to make sure that our team walks out there a lot more confident than what we are at the moment.
Have you got a sense of what Joss has been like in the last 24 hours? Has resigning the captaincy sort of been a very inexperienced for him, or have you not got that sense whatsoever?
I think we saw yesterday's obviously, he mentioned that he was really sad about leaving the post, and that's natural, right? He cared so much about it, and he admittedly said that he wasn't able to get the best out of the guys at this stage, and I thought it was a brave decision to make, and it gives us now an opportunity to be able to start to plot and plan our way forward, knowing that at some stage we'll have to obviously choose a new captain and then work out ways to be able to ensure that the style of cricket that suits them best is also going to give us our greatest chance. And we still see Joss as obviously a big player within that, and he's got a huge role to play. But it will be an exciting time for a new captain to try and put their stamp on it.
Just lastly, what's next on the agenda for you?
Well, get home in the next couple of days, and then start to think about, and start having some conversations with Keezy and Rob Key and the guys at the ECB about who is the right person for us to put in that position of white ball captain, and then what do they need, and how do we start to learn some of the lessons that we've been dealt on this tour and in this tournament to ensure that we're a lot more competitive than what we've been.
Hi, Brendon. There's obviously a greater alignment in this white ball setup and the test setup since you've taken over. How do you ensure this winter you've had in white ball cricket and the sort of negativity, I guess it's bred, doesn't sort of bleed into that huge test summer?
Yeah, look, obviously, I think you guys know me well enough. I'm a very positive person, and I like to try and create a positive environment. There is obviously a fair bit of alignment across those setups now, but at the same time, there's some guys who have been very successful in Test cricket in the last little while, and I'd say the confidence levels of that unit are very high, and the ability to execute the game plan we want to, and the style of cricket that we want to, and obviously we've had a bit of success as well, albeit not quite at the level we want. I think we're a little further down the road with that, and I think we're big enough to work out that this is a slightly different task, and we've got to try and ensure we put the plans in place for this style of cricket and the demands of white ball cricket, and try and separate them as best you can. But I guess that comes down to your skills of your leaders and how calm they can remain under pressure and still keep trying to drive the team forward across all the different forms of the game.
And how big a role does Ben Stokes have in maybe picking up a couple of players? I'm thinking Jamie Smith, Harry Brook, in terms of that test summer, at the start of that test summer, so their form the past few weeks doesn't affect them?
Well, you know what Stokes is like. He's uber confident all the time, and he's a great man manager and a guy who gets the very best out of those guys around him. Harry Brook and Jamie Smith have been outstanding in Test cricket to date. I know they've had a bit of a tough month with the bat over here, but they wouldn't be the first people to go through a bit of a tough period over a month or so. So look, for them it's a matter of making sure that they sort of learn the lessons of what's unfolded over here, and also then sort of try and keep improving their games, but also not let the confidence levels drop too low. But we've seen how good they've been in Test cricket, and I'm sure they'll be very good in white ball cricket in time to come once we work through it a bit.
Will you consider 2 white ball captains? Is that possible, like one for the T20 team and one for the 50-over team, or do you think it needs to be one white ball captain?
Again, sort of work it out over the next few weeks, sort of make sure we have a good look at how the structure looks, how things are placed, and what each side needs, and if it's the same person, then great. If it's 2 different people, then great too. We'll spend a little bit of time. Give me a couple of weeks to sort of work it out, and then hopefully we'll have something for you, and then we'll try and get this thing back on track.
And one of your first sort of things you did when you took over the job was to bring a lot of the Test players in this team. If you go with Ben Duckett and Jamie Smith as 2 examples, do you think that is the right way forward?
Look, I think, to me, the best cricketers are your best cricketers, and they're adaptable across formats. Obviously, there's some guys who do fit into different forms of the game a little easier, I guess. I look at Ben Duckett, I look at Joe Root, 2 guys who hadn't played of late a lot of white ball cricket, and they've been our best batters out here in this competition. So they're obviously locks when it comes to Test cricket. So I think it's not one sort of rule fits all. We obviously our game plan here was to try and bring fast bowling over here, and to try and stock our batting and give ourselves, I guess, that sort of conviction and that method. And we may not have got it totally right, and that's you've got to have conviction in something. And we went for that option this time, and on another tournament, we get across the line those first 2 games, and we sort of, we go, well, that strategy worked. But on this occasion, we weren't quite able to do what we wanted to. And I guess sometimes when you always hope across your entire team, everyone's performing, but sometimes, guys are a little bit low on confidence, and we don't necessarily get the output that we want, and hence why you find yourself on the outside of the tournament. But look, there's so much work for us to do. I still have tremendous confidence in the talent that is across English cricket, not just in the dressing room now, but also guys that sit around the domestic scene at the moment, and who have also played for England before, and that gives you great confidence. It's just making sure that you get the right structure in place over the next little while to allow that to come out and give us the best chance to get back to where we want to be.
Simon, Ali, and then we'll do one more.
Baz, could you, in theory, bring in a captain, a white ball captain who's not in the team at the moment? Maybe because they have qualities as a leader. Maybe I'm just thinking of Sam Billings or Sam Curran, not in the squad at the moment, but they have captaincy experience. Could you contemplate bringing someone in from outside of that sort?
Oh, again, Simon, give us a couple of weeks to work it all out, and sort of digest what's happened over the last month and a half, and then start to plot and plan our way forward from there.
Could you give us an appraisal of Jofra Archer's winter overall, and on top of that, what the possible chances are of pulling the trigger on a Test return this summer?
Yeah, I think if we look at Joff, he's been out of competitive cricket for a couple of years, right? And I think it's taken probably just a little bit of time to get the rhythm of gameplay back, but I think he's been really good. He's bowled high pace, he's played a lot of cricket, he's been able to get significant workload under his belt throughout this time, and we've seen moments of how great Joff is. Even tonight, the couple of wickets he took, the other night against Afghanistan, 3 with the new ball. We know how great a player Jofra is at the very top of his game, and to have him back and to have him fit and excited about playing is a real win for English cricket. We've got to make sure that we're always doing the right thing by Joff as well, and understanding the risks involved. But I'm pretty sure he's pretty keen to play Test cricket, and you look at someone like Joff, and you look at where he, if you can add him to the battery of fast bowlers you're trying to build, then it only strengthens your squad. So, we'll wait and see. But overall, I'm really pleased with where Joff's at, and it's great to see him back playing and injury free at the moment. For this summer coming. Well, yeah, I guess so. We'll find out, I guess. But other conversations again. I'll sit down with some of the players after this and work out, what their ambitions are over the next little while. And I would imagine that Joff would be keen to play Test cricket this summer. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Brendon. What's your quick assessment of the performance of the English team? Do you think it's a case of change in approach, needing to change the approach, and same set of players can produce output with a change of approach, or is it reached to a point where you would need a change of personnel, change of resources?
Well, I think I kind of answered that a little bit before. We're disappointed with how we've performed in this tournament, and we've got to put our hands up and acknowledge that it wasn't good enough, and that's okay in sport. You don't get to be upset if you haven't played well. That you want to be in the situation of playing international cricket and representing your country and playing in front of the fans all around the world. And sometimes it doesn't work out, and you just got to wear that as best you can and try and keep moving forward and improving and try and I guess contribute to the team. From our point of view, we've obviously now got a structural change which is going to take place with a new captain coming in, and then with that they'll bring some of their own ideas and want to stamp their own style on things. So there'll be a natural evolution of the team anyway. But the guys that are in that dressing room are very good cricketers. There's very good cricketers throughout England, and it's a matter for us as coaches and leaders to try and get the best out of that and to try and bring the right combination of players together for the task at hand. And that's what's in front of us over the next little while, which is exciting, by the way. It is. Life's always more fun when you've got a move to make, and we've got a move to make over the next little while.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.